420, 420, for 20 long years. I smoked lots of reefer and drank lots of beer. Every day at 420, we're gonna settle the score. And for 20 long years, it's been 20 past 4.
Hello, welcome to 420 Live. Jeff Kravitz coming to you on this historic day. I know it's probably hard to peel your eyes away from what's happening on the TV screen right now as the president of the United States, Donald J. Rump, is about to get impeached for the second time, twice. 2 black marks, 2 demerits on your record there as president, Mr. Trump. We don't want to like to get political here, but this is historical. This is beyond political. What we've seen, the degradation of our basic society and the way people think and the way people act and the division that is being sowed amongst us is just, it's kind of mind-boggling, But, oops, sorry. I want to get that out of my screen. That was my theme song from Vince Herman. Thank you, Vince, for that little ditty there that I keep singing to myself over and over again. Our guest today, Pat Asanti, is in the green room getting ready, helping himself to the delicious snacks that we provide for all our guests, and in this hair and makeup chair. We'll get to Patsy, our good friend Pat, in just a second. It's going to be hard to distract today because I know everybody's glued. I was glued all morning watching the speeches from our patriots and also from the other treasonous motherfuckers out there, those seditious bastards. I kind of want to rap them on the knuckles. It makes me wish I was a nun and I could just rap their knuckles every time they're sitting there saying, "You can't punish. He didn't do anything wrong." Our world's kind of crazy, isn't it? But at least we're together here. We get to share in this delicious 420 slot. If you haven't already fired up. Here, Kevin Mazer already chirping in. Happy Impeachment Day. Yeah, it is. It's like a national holiday. And my kids are like, "You're watching a lot of news, Dad," because I've never watched the news in the garage. The garage is like my musical holy space where I go into to just hang out and be able to smoke and chill. And I'm in a little place where we keep the outside world out. But lately, I'm just glued to this morning. I was glued to every speech. It was amazing to me to see what 217, they got it, huh? 217 votes. How many Republicans voted? How many Republicans voted for that? Was it? I know 7 beforehand, but I heard a couple jumped on at the end, like 9. It's unbelievable. They're breaking ranks. But you know what? History isn't going to remember you. It's all about history and like facing up to your grandkids and being able to look them in the eye and tell them you did the best you could when you were a senator out there. Not that you were some lying, cheating scumbag that's just going to go out there and just try to toe the company line to keep the boss in. I mean, that's not what our country's about. That's not why we're here. So 9. So it is 9. 9 Republicans against it. Well, thanks for the day, Stevie Moranis and Kevin Mazer. 10. They're still coming in. These guys, listen, save your own skin. And let's face it, he doesn't have the Twitter. He can't leash out. You know what that's done to him? To kind of have to sit there and be, stuck in the Twitterless world where you can't comment on everything that's going on, because he would have had probably 2,000 tweets already in the amount of time he's been down. So unreal. But we started this. This is show 199. We came to you on that bleak little day in March 16th, looking at the beginning of this pandemic, and not a whole hell of a lot has changed. We're still locked down. We're still, people are getting more sick than they were then, especially in California now. The numbers are going up. The amount of deaths are going up. It's all coming around to bite us in the ass. And we created this safe space for distraction to come in and talk to some of our friends and all the different businesses and people that I've met throughout my life. And Pat Asanti is an old friend of mine. I met him through Kevin Mazer, my partner in crime out there in the photo world. And Patsy's been at it for a long time out here in LA. He's got a lot of great stories. He's been in practically everything. I have his IMDb pulled up. We're going to bring Pat in and then I'll go through the IMDb. So everybody, welcome my good friend Pat Asanti, actor extraordinaire, to the show.
How are
Hello.
you, Jeff?
Good to see you, Pat. How you feeling?
Awesome. 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 We're up to 229 votes. I like that.
229,
229, 10 Republicans turn the other cheek.
Well, they want to be remembered on the right side.
I mean, unbelievable.
Well, where you came from, you grew up with Kev. You guys went
Oh
to
my
school
God.
together, right?
Kevin and I, all our friends. It's amazing. And they still have his back. They still have Trump's back. This guy can do no wrong in their eyes. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Well, they always have an excuse. They always have an excuse. They always have a reason. Oh, it was Antifa. So then they take that company line. They're always taking whatever the company line is.
Yeah, and I don't know how they do it, but every time they try to throw Obama in it, like he has nothing to do with any of this. You know what I mean? I give President Obama a lot of credit. He kept his mouth shut for 4 years. All the insults, all the attacks from this moron, but he showed you what a president is.
Well, and not just from Trump, but he got attacked from everybody. Never responded once on Twitter to one attack. And then when Trump got in, he responded to everything that came about. It was kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So when did you decide? Let's go back in the Pat Asanti history. On IMDb, I saw your first. You moved in LA in '86ish. I'm thinking in the mid '80s.
In 1986.
That's it. That's when I moved here. Same time.
Blind as a bat. You know what I mean? But I had goals, and I just really worked hard, and I just did what I can. And my first goal was kind of like to get my SAG card, and so I came in January. I had my SAG card by June, and then we just work came, work went. This business. So you work a little bit, you don't work a little bit, you work a little bit, but it's been a great ride. It's been and there's still a lot of ride left.
Oh, of course. I mean, you're just sitting on the sidelines now. But when you made that decision, like, what were you doing? Like, where were you in acting in New York? Were you working a little bit? Were you doing a little theater?
I really wasn't. I went to the American Academy of Dramatic Arts there. I was doing a couple. It's different. It was different at that time. I don't know what it's like now in New York, but you didn't have to sign with one agent. You can have a slew of agents, and they, you would send your picture out, and whoever got you the audition and then got you the job, then you get the job, they got the commission. So I was a little busier commercially when I lived in New York, doing commercials.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I moved, when it really bit me, I just moved out. I was in LA. with a friend of mine. We flew in. She flew in remember David Lee Roth was doing he was going to shoot a movie on his solo album. I don't know if you remember. And they held auditions at the Man's Chinese. And we flew in for that. And I just came, and I caught up with some old friends who I hadn't seen in years. That was November. And then January 10th, I moved out. I went back to LA, moved out here January 10th, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, but it's a totally different mindset. When you come in, you're so East Coast.
Yeah,
it takes a couple of years for you to get rid of that and realize how beautiful it is here and how amazing and special it is.
Well, I think what decision I made that was really helped me, because I was other people who had just moved here. I moved to LA. I lived in LA. So many people go, yeah, I'm going back to New York. I'm only here temporary. I made the commitment to move here. New York I put in the past. I always loved New York. I will always love New York. But I live here. I've been here more than I lived in. I moved here when I was 23. I'm older than that right now. You know what I mean? So I've been here longer than I lived in New York. And LA's my home, and I love it. I really do. I've been blessed. I live in a great neighborhood, and it's amazing.
What was it like that for those first couple times when the phone rang and you realized you got the part? You felt like you hit the lottery?
Like unbelievable. Like it was, it blew my mind because I had, I can't remember Jackie Coogan.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So got my first film. It was a film called Under the Gun with Vanessa Williams. I was playing, and Sam Jones. I was playing a bartender in that. And I worked for like 4 days, 3 or 4 days. And then one of the days shooting, my agent at the time got me an audition for a television show. And I went in and when I went in for the audition, Jackie Coogan was the director. And
was he one of the Little Rascals or something like that?
Exactly. But he was the director, and I walked in and I knew who he was, and because I'm a big Little Rascals fan. And I was there a little late, and I apologized, and I remember going and saying, "Sorry, I just came from set, and I came right here." And he looked at me. He was like, "Oh, excuse me, you came from set." And I was like, "Well, I didn't mean it that way." It was kind of really cool. It was really cool. That was, I was just being introduced to everything here, so it was pretty amazing. I came here. I got a job at the Westwood Marquee as the bartender at the pool, and all these people, like all these huge celebrity, Dustin Hoffman at the time lived there. I was reading for the movie Wired, and I remember sitting outside by the, at the bar at the pool. It was like a Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon, and I was reading the book to prepare myself. And Dustin Hoffman walked up to the bar to get something, and he's like, "You're not gonna believe that crap." I said, "Well, I'm actually reading for it." So he goes, "Yeah, a lot of people are gonna be mad about that." I said, "It is what it is." You know what I mean? But it was kind of, and we talked about it a little bit. He gave me, because I guess he knew Belushi pretty well. But interesting times,
Yeah, what I mean? Wired was the John Belushi story, the John Belushi story, right?
Yeah. There's that a big controversial book that came out, I think in like 83, 84, like that.
Yeah, well, we moved here at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And my first job was at Paramount Pictures as a payroll accountant. And I would ride my bike around a lot, and I'd pick up the time cards out of the boxes. But at that time, they were making like Beverly Hills Cop 2 on there, and the Star Trek Next Generation started while I was there, and they were doing the Colbys still, and it was just like, in Red October they shot, and we would just go in the sets and hang out. Cheers was popular at that time. Family Ties. All these amazing times. It was kind of like a golden age. I mean, Hollywood's changed a lot.
Oh my God, so much. So much. Now it's about, you would go in, you would get a guest star role on something, and you'd be there for a few days. You know what I mean? If you did a sitcom, now it's basically about get them in and get them out. When you do a guest star, like I just did an episode of Lucifer, and I understand because of what's going on with COVID and everything. They just basically want you in, do what you got to do, and get out. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the difference between then and now. I mean, now because of the fact also that everyone's shooting on digital compared to film.
Also, how are the COVID restrictions affecting the business?
Yeah, they're really strict. I have to say, when I went on to do Lucifer on Warner Brothers, I took 4 tests before I was even basically allowed on the lot, which was actually really good. I went in on a Friday and did the main, the main one that takes 2 or 3 days. Then I had gone in the following Wednesday, did a quick test. Friday did a quick test, and then when I was shooting on Monday, I went, parked my car, got to base camp. They wouldn't let me in base camp until I did another quick test. So, and then I got escorted to my trailer, which I wasn't allowed to leave, and which was fine. You could sit outside of it. And then they came and got me for hair and makeup. So when I went to hair and makeup, well, mostly makeup. I went into the
Saves a lot
trailer.
of time, doesn't it?
Exactly. I went into the trailer and it was just me and the makeup person, and got out of that. And then they drove me to the stage. So when they drove me to the stage, I either went by golf cart, where I sat, you sit where the clubs are, where the clubs would go, and by yourself, only one person per cart, or they brought me in a van where I went in the back and only two of us were allowed in the van. And then when you got on set, they brought you to a pod. They had like a little pod, like a tent. So it's really safe. I felt really, really comfortable. I just, when you get on set, you want to hang out. You want to be there. You want to get to hang out with everybody, meet everyone. And with this, now that's gone.
So they just bring you in for what you need. You shoot your scene, and then you're out of there.
Exactly. Yeah.
No more sitting around the craft service table waiting for them to bring out the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff.
Nothing.
Right?
That's all gone. I mean, they have craft services. You got to go. You got to point what you want. And someone from behind the shield gives it to you. So.
Right. It's kind of crazy. And right now, I heard production is frozen.
From what I understand, yeah, I heard a lot of shows got pushed back a week now. People are going back to work next week, but they're making it safe, and that's, I think, the most important thing.
Well, you see them starting to go down now. Bay City's Deli in Santa Monica got closed because 15 people got it there. They're just closing. Yeah, they're closing for like a week, and have to clean the place up and get everybody through the system and test everybody, and then they're back open again. But it's happened there. It's happened at a lot of different places. A lot of different businesses in Los Angeles are getting affected right now. So we're seeing the numbers increase. So it makes sense that they stopped. I know Jimmy Kimmel and the other guys are all doing their shows from home now.
Yeah. I wonder if Bill Maher's doing this show. If he comes back this Friday, I wonder if he's going back to his house to do it. Because I know I can't wait for it, because I'm sure it's going to be a really, really good show this weekend with everything happening.
Well, when you have smart people that know how to talk about this, it's really hard to not have a good conversation about it, because the history is changing so fast. Like, I've never seen history before my eyes. I mean, we've seen those big events, of course, 9/11 and different plane crashes in our life and different tragedies that we've happened, weather emergencies and stuff like that. But now it's on a completely different level. I mean, this is insurrection. You watched him just whip everybody up and send them down the street, and you're just like, wow. And I watched a special, like ABC cut a special together, and it was like 4 days old. Like what happened? And I started watching it, and I was like, hard to wrap your mind around that it just happened when you see all the footage together. It's just kind of crazy.
And then you see people like today, Kevin McCarthy, how he tried to backtrack himself and say, Biden won, he won, and he won legit. And because he knows I think they're going to go after these guys like the Jim Jordans, who I can't stomach.
Well, I mean, it says that right there in the rules of the Constitution that you can't question the election process, and you can't attack it, and you can't attack your own government like they've been doing. These are all acts of sedition. So these guys should all go. And did you see the thing about the guy who planned the rally today? This guy, Ali. So this guy, Ali, is basically going up and saying, I met with 3 congressmen that told me they wanted to do this, and they wanted to go down and disrupt the vote. And so that's why we planned this rally. So they have a guy, and he's already banging up like Mo Brooks and a couple of the other guys that are really conservative. Anyway, just
tell you right now, they're gonna be doing backflips when they go like this. How many years am I gonna get?
The guy who sat in Pelosi's chair just got 11 years today.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. But these people, I mean, it's really brazen, because not only did they go do it, but they took pictures of themselves and then put it up on their own Instagram accounts. Like, look at me. This is me.
God. Can you believe how stupid they are? Unbelievable.
Well, they didn't think they did anything wrong.
Oh, unbelievable. So, but getting back to the business side
of course.
So now, even for us as actors, auditioning is different. So now there's no more going in to see the casting director. That's pretty much over with right now. I mean, right now. Who knows in the future? So everyone's doing self tapes. So my commercial agent called me and asked me if my wife Deborah was an actress, and I said, well, she was a while ago. She doesn't really do it anymore because she's a writer director. She actually directed $22 Eggs. So I said, why? What's going on? And she said they can't cast you as a husband and then cast someone else as a wife because of COVID. So now they're seeing couples to play husband and wife, which I thought was crazy. But we just did our first commercial for Physicians Mutual.
Oh, so it worked out. You got
yeah, it worked out great. So now 2 of us are going to be getting residuals, which I'm very happy about.
And did you shoot it like you had to go on set to shoot it, I assume? Or
we shot on New York Street at Paramount.
Oh, that's it. So you were outside the whole time.
Outside the whole time, but very, very, also very, very safe. No one was near each other. Again, that one I did two tests before we shot, and one the morning of. So, yeah.
Let me ask you: there's got to be advantages and disadvantages of casting by shooting yourself in your house. What are the advantages and what are the disadvantages?
Okay, so when I'm doing a self tape, I can do it multiple times until I'm really happy and then send it off. Or
as opposed to a Zoom.
Right. They have Zoom auditions too. I mean, that's what Deborah and I did when we got the Physicians Mutual. It was a Zoom audition, and that was different. It's different because it's like you have no place to move, so you're kind of constricted because you don't want to move off camera.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So with are commercials more Zoom and would be a role in a film or TV be more of a self-read?
Yeah. Yeah. And then, unless, we also had one where on the callback, the director would want to talk to you on Zoom.
Right, to give you one-on-one time. But does that usually that one-on-one time with the casting director on that first time, and everybody's sitting at the table like we've seen in all the movies? We walk in and they're all sitting at the 8-foot folding table, and you do your piece. Do you find that was more intimidating for you, or do you find that gave you more ability to try to connect with them?
No, I at first you're nervous, you're not used to it. And then this is what I do.
Right, but what I'm saying is it better now with COVID that you have the opportunity to do the reads multiple times and to send something you're really happy with?
Personally, I like it. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people who rather go in the room. I mean, I'm fine either way, but and
let's face it,
snoring just in case I don't know if you can hear it.
And then driving all over LA too, because you got to cast, you got to be over here, you got to be over there.
That 5 o'clock audition in Santa Monica when you live in the Hollywood Hills, and then you have to be in Santa Monica at 5, knowing that you're not going to get home now until 7:30 because the traffic going from the west side to come back to into Hollywood. I mean, it's crazy sometimes. I mean. You just because you got to get, you know what it is? You got to get past the 405, and to the 405 is brutal.
I know. Trust me, that's the time I would leave to do all my movie premieres and stuff around 5:30. Some days, before we had Waze, you didn't know how long it would take you. So some days you'd be 45 minutes late, and some days you'd be 45 minutes early. And now you can just program it in, so you at least you have an understanding.
Yeah.
And so, do you think when this all comes back, it's good, you're going to go back to in person, or you think this is one of the things from COVID that's going to stay?
I think it'll be maybe 50-50. Because I think they're finding that it's easier for them.
Yeah, well, it's easier, and they probably don't have to block out a whole day to sit around and have them come in, and
Exactly. And then they'll do it. I think they'll do it more if the director wants to meet you.
Right.
And that's it. But a lot of times the director, they see what they go like this. Okay, I like that. Pick him, pick her, and that's it. And you come in, he doesn't know your name. You do your thing, and then you leave. And it's thanks, goodbye.
All right, but you started in 1986. It's now 2012. I'm not going to do the math, but it's a lot of time.
Yeah.
What have you noticed about how you've aged through the role system?
I never turned down an audition. It's something I learned a long time ago. So I never looked at the sides of the audition. There were times where you get a little angry, going, they're bringing me into this, because it's such a small role. But I did that with a television pilot, and I just the television the casting director, who I knew really well, called my agent and said, and we want to see Pat for this. So my agent told me, and then I said, all right, great. And he goes, I really prefer if you didn't go in on it. And I said, well, I don't want to do that to the casting person. You know what I mean? And he said, all right. And I went in and I booked it. And I remember, and I went on set, and the producers and the producers of the show and the creators of the show were from another show that I had worked on the year before. And when I walked on, these people saw me, they were like, Pat, thank you so much for taking this role. We know it's small, but if the show gets picked up, it's going to be recurring. So these are the things you know what I mean? And then I told my agent that, and he was like, yeah, we'll see. And then he dropped me because I'm like, what are you doing? And he goes, I said, what happened? Why are you dropping me? He goes like, yeah, you're a one-line actor. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my God. I can't believe you're actually saying that. But it was fine. And then, I said, yeah, but if the show gets picked up,
But how many pilots are made to what gets picked up? It's pretty astounding, right?
Exactly. But you can't, you never know what that role is going to turn into. See, that's what people get, people get insulted, but you don't know what that is going to get into.
Well, and how about the roles you're being offered is kind of what I was getting at. Like in the beginning, you probably weren't getting the dad roles and the grandfather roles and stuff like that.
Oh,
now
no.
You see more of that?
Now I'm more the dad and not many of the, well, yeah, I guess the grandfather roles too now. Because I'm of that age, but a lot of the older husband and stuff like that, which is fine. I just love to work.
Of course.
You know what I mean? I always I'm the like Lucifer, I was the desk sergeant.
You've been a lot of cops.
A lot of cops.
And a lot of gangsters too.
Yeah. Now here's the funny thing is I've done a couple, but I normally, because I don't have that really Italian looking face, I don't have the dark skin and so they're like, you're Italian? And I'm like, yeah. All right, you don't look Italian. I said, well, what can I tell you? This is what I look like. I'm Italian. I'm full blooded. I read and and I see what they go for, but it's fine.
Yeah, so you've had some downtime, and you and the wife conjured up the $22 eggs.
So let me tell you how $22 eggs came about. It was really great. We're just, this is the beginning of COVID. Now it started in March, and then April came, and then May came, and I'm like, we're both like, no one is working, no one's doing anything. And I said, and we got to stay creative. We have to, you have to find a way to let that animal out of you. And I was talking to my friend Anthony, and him and I were going back because he does a lot of stuff like this. And I said, I'm looking for a piece, but I haven't found anything I really like. And he said, well, I have these 3 one-acts. And I said, okay. And he sent them to me, and then I looked at $22 eggs and I said, wow, this is funny. And we talked a little bit, and I showed it to Deborah, and I said, how can we bring this up to date? Because it was a little outdated. And so we did all, we discussed, and then Anthony went, his name is Anthony Montez, who plays Bobby, the other guy in the short with me. And he was like, let me work on it. And he worked on it for literally like 24 hours and sent it back to me. I was like, wow, that's a little fast. So you want to take a little time with it? And he's like, no. And I read it, and I was like, oh my God, this works. And then my wife, Deborah, read it, and she's like, let's shoot this. And I'm like, yeah, let's shoot this. So we actually got a DP. We put a little crew together, and we did everything COVID. No one was near each other, and the way we set up the shots and everything, none of us were ever really near each other. So it worked, and we needed a restaurant to shoot in. So we needed to have a.
Well, let's show the clip, and then we'll come back and talk about it. All right?
Oh, great!
Here, I got the clip all ready to go. I'm going to pop me and you out of here, and then we'll come back. Here we go.
You too.
Dude,
Stay back. You gotta socially distance.
Give me a fucking break.
I'm serious. Sit over there.
Okay, but you got to take that thing off.
Okay. The menu's right in front of you.
This is a piece.
I don't want to show. I don't want to give away any more there. But we got a good sense of like what the setting was like, and some funny jokes about the COVID there. I guess that's how he punched it up, made it.
Yeah, he brought. Yeah, so it's the short's about two hitmen who meet for breakfast before the hit during COVID, and that's basically it. And it's we've been getting a lot of great feedback on. I didn't expect, so we shot it. We shot it in 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Which when I tell people that, they can't believe it. So we shot it. We set, that's my backyard. That's the second level of my backyard. And we set it up like a restaurant. And because people are going, what restaurant did you use? And I was like, Restaurant Asanti. And we did, and you know what? It was great. And we got to be creative, and we made a piece. We did something that we really love and are so proud of, and it's doing great in festivals right now. It won a festival in Sicily, and Deborah Dragato, the director, my wife, she won a director's award. So it's going really, really well. Now we're waiting to hear. The reason why we really can't show it, and I haven't streamed it yet, is because we're waiting for certain film festivals that they said if it streams, they won't show it. They won't put you into competition. So we're waiting right now on Tribeca Film Festival, Atlanta, and it's actually been submitted to Cannes.
So are they all virtual now?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, for right now, that's how they have to be.
Are they still doing like the group talks and stuff like that? I guess Zoom talks.
I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna, like, those bigger ones are gonna do it. The smaller one, like we got into competition at the Venice Film Festival, and
Venice, California, you mean?
Yeah, Venice, California. And we also just had competition. We got to the semifinals in the competition for the Comedy Fest in Milan.
Oh, excellent.
So yeah, so it's doing really good. We're really, really proud of it.
Well, it's fun. I mean, this is the time to kind of do that too, right? Kind of work on the skills and polish stuff up, and just do little things like that while you got time.
Yeah, exactly. And just to you got to just try to make the best of what's going on. You know what I mean? Instead of sitting around moping about it is what it is, and just move forward and get stuff done and just keep active.
Yeah, it's really hard. And you're Italian
Yes, I am.
from Puglia, right?
Yes, I am very proud of that.
And that's in Umbria, right? Am I right?
No. Puglia. So if you look at the map of Italy, Puglia is the heel of the boot.
Oh, it's at the very bottom.
Yeah. So it's the whole heel. That's region, and so that right now is like the spot to go to during the summer in Italy because it's all untouched.
Well, yeah, I see that. I see that coming up a lot. Like people are visiting, and I also see like a lot of restaurants open. Like we have a restaurant called Puglia here in Los Angeles.
Exactly.
So it's southern Italian cooking, which is more red sauces.
No, more just lighter.
It's lighter
cooking. You know, it's not as heavy. It's not the polentas and stuff. It's not heavy cooking. It's not a lot of ragu and really heavy stuff. It's more lighter cooking. Like if you go to Puglia in the summer, it's mostly fresh fish, which the majority of it is eaten raw, crudo. It's just out of this world. It's so beautiful.
Good. I love it. So you have another business you started during the pandemic, and these are like one of the most addictive. You can see the tarallis right there.
Yeah,
looking good.
Della Corte is the piazza where the castle of our town, Conversano, is in. So I wanted to give it. This is my mom's recipe, and I just wanted to pay homage to our town. So I named it Della Corte Foods, and this is right here.
Delicious. Where are you selling those things?
So they are sold at Chironi on Beverly Boulevard. They are sold at Broad Street Oyster in Malibu. They're sold at Semolina Pasta store in Pasadena and at Mozza To Go. Nancy Silverton she's the one who got behind me and pushed me to make these after I had made them for her. So she had pushed me to make these.
She liked them so much. She's like, you gotta make these and put them on the market.
Yeah. And so I worked on it for a little bit, came up with the design of the logo, got the bag, figured it out. And so we gave it a shot and we put it in Mozza To Go. And in like a week, they were sold out.
Oh.
So,
well, she's got an incredible palate. Nancy's probably one of the best bakers in all Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah. She's amazing. She's a very, very dear friend of mine and Deborah's. And
you worked with the Mazza family. You were in one of the things that every actor's done in this town. You talk about bartending is food service. And I remember going to eat and watching you in the room. That was Mario Batali's room at that time, who's also been Me Too'd over the years. But watching you work and your knowledge for food and the way you understood the menu and the whole way, like food is a big part of who you are.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a big foodie, and I some people eat to live. I live to eat. I love food. I love trying foods from all over the world, and I am especially into Italian food. And but it's a great, brings people together. That's been our thing. We always, this year especially was so hard. Like on Christmas Day, we would normally have like 14 people over for dinner, and I make a big Christmas dinner. And this year it's just the two of us. It was so like, I never expected it. We have a tradition of the same friends. We actually at one point had a wait list of people who's like, hey, well, if they don't show, we want the next.
We're on deck.
So it was really good, and I spend a lot of time in Puglia, and we actually, Puglia is becoming the film capital of Italy, not Rome any longer. They're building a studio right now that's bigger than Cinecittà in Puglia. Cinecittà is a big studio in Rome. And Sophia Loren has a that new movie on Netflix that she shot for her son directed. They shot that in Puglia. So
Wow.
it's all there. And then actually, Deborah wrote a script called Homemade Salami, which takes place in Puglia, that we've just met with the Italian Film Commission. And hopefully next year we'll be there shooting. It's like one of my dreams to go there and work. I mean, 2 years ago, I got to go to Rome and work. And I was in Rome for 3 weeks. And it was amazing. I have to tell you, it was just
it's one of my favorite cities in the world.
Yeah, it was so awesome to work there.
Well, you know what? You were hearing from one of your old friends here, Andrew Goldman, says, "Hey,
wow.
Pat, great to hear you're doing well. It's been a while since our days at El Cholo Catering."
Oh my God.
And I look forward to seeing $22 eggs and trying those mini beggarly things.
Yeah, that's awesome. So just so you know, on these we have 5 flavors. We have onion.
Oh, so there are different flavors.
Yeah, we have cacio e pepe, which is cheese and pepper. We have chili pepper if you like spicy. We have fennel, and then we have classic olive oil, which is just plain.
That's good. Can people buy them online yet, or you're not doing that?
You can. You can go to delacortefoods.com, and the website's not up, but you can. There's an email link to me.
Gotcha.
And if you want them, you got them. You know, so it's all happening, and it's getting this website thing done, and I want to do it right. And like the photo you shot that you showed a little while ago, Kevin shot those in my backyard. He did a great job. I've done a lot of publicity photos for me. So,
well, you constantly need photos as an actor, right?
Oh my God,
so it's good to have friends that are photographers.
You ain't kidding. You ain't kidding. I think you did my last ones. Didn't you come to Asanti studio in Santa Monica 2 years ago? So, yeah, thank God I know you guys. You know what I mean?
Well, thank God we know you. We're all part of the same family, Pat, and you've done a great job being out here. And keep up the good work. So I guess maybe this spring people will be able to see $22 eggs.
Yeah, as soon as we get past these first, I'm just waiting really to hear back from 3 festivals. And if we get into those, as soon as the festival's over, I'm going to put it up probably on Amazon.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, good. That'll be very easy. I'm sure you do a hell of a business.
I'll let you know so you can promote it.
Anything else you want to tell all your friends and family out there?
No, just stay safe. Wear a mask, despite of what these morons say. Wear a mask.
Wear a mask. Good advice.
That's all I can say. We'll get back together after January 20th. I think we're going to need a little time to heal, but we're too great of a nation.
Yeah, I think this spring we're going to spring.
You know why? Because it showed you we stopped the coup from taking over us. We stopped it.
Kind of crazy.
Isn't it nuts?
It's a crazy thing.
That idiot. 4 years. I was talking to somebody. I'll make this really quick. I was reading somewhere that that Trump's biographer in his biography is gonna, when they refer to Pence, they're gonna refer to him as the bootlicker.
In the biography.
The bootlicker.
The whole thing is just so unbelievable that you could be that devoted. Like, he was so devoted to Trump for 4 years, and then you do that one thing, and then he's just like, nope.
But the thing is, he didn't do anything. They say he tried to explain, this is just ceremonial what we're doing.
Trump doesn't care. He doesn't look at it. He's looking for any way to win possible and anything to overthrow it, So I think that was kind of crazy. And you know what? There's still, I watch the guys today, Matt Gaetz in Congress talking, and he's still saying that they didn't count things right and people died and voted. And, they found the people that died and voted actually were Trump votes.
Exactly. I heard that. Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to a friend of mine on Long Island, actually in Florida the other day. She's like, Pat, dead people voted. I said, Biden won by 8 million votes. You think 8 million dead people voted? I mean, come on. Let's be. It's like anything they say. It happens. 20, 30 mistakes, even a couple hundred mistakes. That happens. No question.
Absolutely.
8 million? I don't think so.
Crazy.
I really don't think so. But anyway.
We'll see. We're watching history. We're side by side watching history. And then at the end, we're going to get together and have a huge party. The Roaring 20s are coming.
There you go.
Look forward to it. Give my best to your beautiful wife, Deb. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon.
Same. See you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Pat Asanti out. Thank you, Pat. What a great chat with Pat. Did you see where that was going? I'm a poet, and I know it. Folks, we're watching history. We have a front row seat to history. Tomorrow on this show, episode 200 coming up. Tom Marshall, RJB are going to be here. My friend Jeff Ross is going to stop by. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. We're going to have some surprises. Make sure you tuned in for the party. I won't have the whole distraction during my show of overthrowing our government and impeaching our president for the second. Twice. With a week to go. You got impeached with a week to go. Thank you, Paul. 199. I mean, I didn't want to be here 199 shows. I had concerts to go to, dinners to go to, people to see, jobs to do. And what do I got? I got a bag of Grady's cold brew for you right here. 36 cups of delicious New Orleans style chicory coffee. Comes in its own little bag. You can get the bag and you can get 20% off your order from the wonderful people at Grady's Cold Brew. If you use a 420 Live, use that 420 Live to save yourself 20%. Delicious cold brew. It'll keep you going. And you could also make it hot brew if you like it hot or cold. It is a little chilly out there. We do need to stay warm. So store and pour pouch right here. Get your Grady's Cold Brew. Coming at you hot or cold. The Grady's Cold Brew. And our fine folks at Sin Lawn, synthetic lawns. Just what you need. Nice synthetic hairpiece. Here, you want the tag in the back. There it is. Nice synthetic hairpiece. The kin and play piece. The beard. I'm going to go to the Capitol building, and I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to take my selfie, sitting behind Nancy Pelosi's desk, and then I'm going to get 11 years in jail. I'm going to be somebody's bitch. That's a hell of an ad for Sin Lawn, right, folks? Sin Lawn, synthetic lawns, environmentally friendly. You get to that point in your life when you just don't want to spend money watering a lawn that ends up being patchy. And this is mostly in California. I know you people on the East Coast, you got huge lawns and stuff, and I get it. But you might want a little surface there on your deck or in your rec room or something. They have many, many different kinds of Sin Lawn. So they'll send you a sample. Hit them up at sinlawn.com. And if you saw there's a 420 Live, sinlawn.com, you go there. I don't know what it's going to tell you, but you can get in there and mix it up. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing my synthetic lawn. Someone said it was pretty funny. I have a 420 Live show and I'm pushing the grass. So I see you guys all chirping in here. What's going on out there? I haven't seen CNN for an hour. It's the most I haven't watched CNN the whole week. And of course, I missed the vote. And but the vote went in our direction. 10, 11 people voted their conscience instead of their pocketbooks. I just don't know where to begin. I mean, it's like watching. I can't even process the history because it's like coming at you so fast that you can't even understand what's going on. And even the guys on television, they just keep repeating themselves all over again. Yeah, Liz Cheney. Oh shit, Liz Cheney, and then Mitch McConnell too. Oh crap, everybody's going to flip. It's going to be interesting what happens when the Senate gets back in. I guess Mitch is not coming back until the middle or the end of the line there, but they'll come back. They will come back. They're going to come back, and then there's going to be a Democratic majority, and you're going to have 17 people that are easily going to be like, especially what we're going to uncover in the next couple days. I think that the main thing we're going to see is what that acting attorney general in Washington, D.C. said the other day is just, you cannot believe what's about to be unveiled. And it's already mind-boggling what's being unveiled. And obviously it was enough that Mitch McConnell saw it and Liz Cheney saw it, because they get those briefings, that when they saw it, they're like, yeah, this guy did this on purpose and we're going after him. So we're going to tune in and we're going to watch our our world crumble before our very eyes, but then they're going to rebuild it. It's kind of like, piecing it back together. My kids called it like designated survivor. Like, yeah, that was kind of like designated survivor shit the other day when they stormed in there. I still haven't watched AOC's speech, but I saw Dan Rather talk. I've been watching so many different clips, and everybody's very opinionated on it, and always all about the same thing. Yes, transgression. Yes, you must impeach. So what could I say? Anyway, what do we got? 200th celebration tomorrow. Chef Royalty talking about cannabis and cooking on Friday. We're going to try to get back to some normalness. I talked to Noel Kassler. He's going to come back next week. I told him to pick a day, any day, but not inauguration day. I don't even think we're going to be able to go live on the day of the inauguration. There's going to be too much stuff to watch, around, I guess it starts around high noon. So we're going to be probably not going to be here on the 20th. And Martin Luther King Day on the 18th. We'll see. I'll see how the news is going there. But Noel's going to pick his day. I heard from Bootsy Collins. Bootsy wants to be on the show, which is great, through our friends at Stage It. And, things are progressing, folks. It's never ending here. I don't have much else to do than talk to you. So thank you all for tuning in and come in and keep me company. Peace, love, and happiness to everybody out there. Here's a big hug. Take that. Wrap yourself in it tonight and watch some television in that big hug. Pretend I'm with you there on the couch. And fight the good fight. We will see you tomorrow with our 200th celebration. 200 episodes. I mean, I might be off account, right? It might be 199. I mean, but I was looking. I was pretty thorough. So we're very close to 200. But tomorrow we're celebrating show 200 tomorrow. Tune in.